couldn't be more excited. It's just, there's so much kind of happening in the moment with, he's working on some projects that he has to wrap up, and we just have things we want to finish in our own personal endeavors before we get into all the nitty gritty. But yeah, I don't know, I'm really, I just have never really felt so sure.
Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's whirlwind romance has captured the world's attention, painting a perfect picture of a friendship that blossomed into a fairy tale love story. From sold-out arenas to intimate moments shared online, they seem to have it all. But what if the storybook ending was hiding a secret turmoil? Just weeks after saying "I do" in a breathtaking ceremony, the couple stepped out for their first public appearance as husband and wife, radiating pure happiness. Yet, behind the flawless smiles and designer clothes, Selena was about to make a confession so raw and unexpected, it would cast a dark shadow over their newlywed bliss and reveal the true price of finding happiness in the spotlight. What could she possibly have said that would make everyone question if their fairy tale was about to turn into a nightmare? The origins of their story trace back to a time before the romance, before the public declarations of love, back to the pulsating heart of the music industry in 2019. It was the year of global hits, and a collaboration was brewing that would unknowingly plant the seeds for one of Hollywood's most talked about relationships. The song was "I Can't Get Enough," a bilingual banger featuring Selena, Benny, J Balvin, and Taney. On the surface, it was a genius musical pairing. Benny Blanco, the super producer with a Midas touch, known for crafting chart-topping hits for superstars like Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, and Katy Perry, and Selena Gomez, a global icon navigating a new chapter of her career, reclaiming her narrative one song at a time. The track was a smash hit, but looking back, the music video offered the first subtle clue. The chemistry was playful, electric, and undeniably real. While it was dismissed as professional artistry at the time, it was the first spark in a slow-burn romance that would take nearly half a decade to fully ignite. They had actually first crossed paths when Selena was barely a teenager, but it was in that studio, surrounded by soundboards and creativity, that a deeper connection began to form, one that would lie dormant for years. Following their collaboration, their lives moved in separate yet parallel directions. The world was unaware of the quiet friendship that was solidifying behind the scenes. While Selena navigated the immense pressures of her career, her health struggles, and the lingering ghosts of past relationships, Benny became a steady, grounding force in her life. He was more than just a colleague. He was a confidant, a trusted friend she could turn to when the weight of the world felt too heavy. This wasn't a romance born of flashing cameras and red carpet events. It was forged in quiet moments of understanding and support. Then, in 2023, the dynamic shifted. It started with a simple, unassuming invitation from Selena. "Do you want to get dinner?" As Benny would later reveal, he had no idea it was meant to be a date. He walked in expecting a casual catch-up between old friends, but he walked out realizing something profound had changed. The comfortable ease of their friendship was now charged with a new, unspoken electricity. That single dinner was the turning point, the moment their slow-burn connection finally burst into flame. For months, their budding romance remained a well-kept secret, a precious world they built just for themselves, away from the prying eyes of the public. But secrets in Hollywood have a notoriously short shelf life. In December 2023, the internet began to buzz with rumors. Fan accounts, acting as digital detectives, started piecing together clues. Then, in a move that broke the internet, Selena took control of the narrative herself. Underneath a fan post speculating about her relationship status, she dropped a single powerful word: facts. It was a confirmation that was as bold as it was unexpected, but she didn't stop there. As a wave of online criticism washed over Benny, with trolls dredging up old interviews, Selena transformed into a fierce defender of her new love. She dove into the comments, clapping back at naysayers, and declaring Benny as "my absolute everything in my heart, and the best thing that's ever happened to me." This wasn't just a casual fling. It was a profound, all-encompassing love, and she was ready to fight for it. With their love story now out in the open, the era of hiding was officially over. Selena and Benny embraced their status as Hollywood's newest it couple, and their first public appearance was perfectly understated and utterly revealing. They chose a Lakers versus Heat basketball game in January 2024 for their debut. Sitting courtside, surrounded by thousands of fans and flashing cameras, they seemed to be in their own world. They cuddled, they laughed, they shared intimate whispers. It was a picture of pure, unadulterated happiness. This casual outing was a stark contrast to the high-stakes world of Hollywood events, but it was the perfect introduction to their relationship. Just days later, they traded the basketball court for the red carpet, making a stunning appearance at the Golden Globes, followed by another at the Emmy Awards. It was a clear message to the world. They were in love, they were happy, and they were not afraid to show it. Their social media presence became a digital scrapbook of their romance, offering fans a refreshingly candid glimpse into their lives. The carefully curated professional posts that once dominated Selena's feed were replaced with a stream of raw, joyful, and often goofy moments. There were intimate photos of them cooking together in their kitchen, their hands covered in flour, their faces beaming with laughter. There were playful videos where they teased each other, and heartfelt birthday tributes that read like poetry. This newfound openness was a significant shift for Selena, who had learned the hard way to guard her privacy. With Benny, it seemed she had found a safe harbor, a place where she could finally let her guard down and just be herself. This unfiltered joy was infectious, and fans fell in love with their authentic, down-to-earth connection. As their relationship deepened, eagle-eyed fans noticed a new piece of jewelry on Selena's hand, a dazzling diamond ring, intricately shaped into the initial B. It wasn't a traditional engagement ring, but its placement on her ring finger was a deliberate and powerful statement. The media went into a frenzy, with headlines speculating about a secret engagement. But the couple remained coy, letting the ring speak for itself. It was a symbol of their commitment, a private joke, and a public declaration all at once. For Selena, who had spent years under the microscope, this felt different. It was a way of sharing her happiness on her own terms, a silent promise of a future that was beginning to take shape. Finally, in December 2024, exactly 1 year after they first confirmed their relationship, the speculation came to an end. Selena and Benny officially announced their engagement. The news was met with a tidal wave of excitement and support. Friends, family, and a legion of fans who had followed Selena's journey through heartbreak and healing celebrated this new chapter. The engagement ring itself was a masterpiece, a stunning diamond that perfectly encapsulated their unique love story. After years of friendship and a year of whirlwind romance, they were ready to make the ultimate commitment. It was a beautiful culmination of a love story that had been years in the making, proving that sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for. Their creative synergy, the very thing that first brought them together, became the centerpiece of their love story once more. In March 2025, they released a collaborative album that served as the soundtrack to their romance, aptly titled I Said I Love You First. The album was a raw, honest, and beautiful exploration of their journey, blending Benny's signature production with Selena's soulful vocals. Each track felt like a page from their diary, detailing the evolution of their relationship from friends to soulmates. The title itself was a playful nod to the early days of their romance, a sweet, intimate detail that they chose to share with the world. It was a celebration of their love, a testament to their powerful connection both in and out of the studio. On a sun-drenched day in September 2025, against the idyllic backdrop of the Seacrest Nursery in Santa Barbara, California, Selena and Benny exchanged vows. Surrounded by a close-knit group of family and friends, the ceremony was an intimate and emotional affair, far removed from the typical Hollywood spectacle. Selena was a vision in a custom-designed gown, her happiness radiating more brightly than any camera flash. The wedding was a celebration of their journey, a beautiful testament to a love that had been nurtured in private and was now being celebrated in the most sacred of ways. It was the perfect fairy tale ending for a couple who had found their forever in the most unexpected of places. A few weeks later, the world got its first glimpse of the newlyweds as they made their grand entrance at the Academy Museum Gala in Los Angeles. The glow was undeniable. Selena channeled old Hollywood glamour in an elegant black gown, her look completed with a timeless elegance that spoke of a woman who was truly content. Beside her, Benny was the picture of a proud husband, his blue and black ensemble perfectly complementing her classic look. They moved with an easy grace, their hands intertwined, their smiles never faltering. They weren't just a celebrity couple anymore. They were Mr. and Mrs. Blanco, a united front ready to take on the world together. But it was in the midst of this perfect moment, surrounded by the flashing lights and adoring fans, that Selena shared her startling confession. When asked about her newlywed bliss, her voice wavered ever so slightly. "I got married," she began, "and then I was sobbing because I was like, I'm gonna die the next day." The admission hung in the air, a stark contrast to the joyful images that had defined their relationship. She went on to explain that after years of turmoil, the sheer intensity of her happiness felt overwhelming, almost terrifying. She had become so accustomed to waiting for the other shoe to drop that she couldn't fully embrace the joy without an accompanying fear that it would all be snatched away. It was a raw, heartbreakingly honest glimpse into the mind of someone who had fought for so long to find peace, only to be afraid of it once she had it. Selena's journey to finding Benny was paved with the rubble of highly publicized heartbreaks. Her tumultuous on-again, off-again relationship with Justin Bieber defined much of her young adulthood, a saga that played out in tabloid headlines and tearful interviews. Each reconciliation and subsequent split was dissected by the public, leaving scars that would take years to heal. Her other relationships, though less dramatic, were also lived under the relentless gaze of the media. This history of public heartbreak had taught her to be guarded, to protect her heart at all costs. With Benny, however, something was different. The foundation of their love wasn't built on passionate chaos, but on the steady, unwavering ground of friendship. He had seen her at her most vulnerable and had loved her not in spite of it, but because of it. This was the stability she had been searching for, a love that felt safe enough to finally be happy in. So what lies ahead for the couple who has already been through so much? Both Selena and Benny have been open about their desire to start a family. In interviews, they've spoken about the dream of having children, of building a life that is filled with love, laughter, and the pitter-patter of little feet. Professionally, their creative partnership is stronger than ever, and a future filled with more musical collaborations seems almost inevitable. They have found in each other a partner in life, in love, and in art. Their journey has just begun, and the world will be eagerly watching as they write the next chapter of their incredible story. From a chance collaboration in a music studio to a breathtaking wedding under the California sun, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's love story is a powerful reminder that the most profound connections are often the ones that grow slowly, nurtured by friendship and trust. Selena's candid confession about her post-wedding fears doesn't tarnish their fairy tale. It makes it real. It speaks to the courage it takes to embrace happiness after years of pain and the strength required to believe that you are truly deserving of a happy ending. Theirs is not just a Hollywood romance. It's a story of healing, of hope, and of a love that was, against all odds, destined to be.